Airlines have been busy lately. They're changing rules, tweaking policies, and adding new restrictions that could catch you off guard at the airport. If you're not keeping up, you might get hit with a surprise, whether it's a last-minute baggage rule, a new boarding process, or even restrictions on the devices you can bring. Some of these changes are happening for safety reasons, others are meant to make flying easier, at least according to the airlines. But whether they actually help is going to be another story. So today, I'm breaking down the latest airline rule changes, what's new, what you need to watch out for, as well as sharing some updates and new travel hacks and tips that I've started using that I think will help you stay ahead. Let's kick things off with a change that could affect a lot of us, especially if you travel with a portable power bank. Some airlines have recently announced that you cannot pack these in your carry-on, but don't worry, you can still bring them on board. They just have to remain with you at your seat. Korean Air and Asiana now require passengers to keep their power banks in their personal item, so no tossing them in the overhead bin. They need to stay with you at your seat. EVA Air, however, is taking things a step further, and they're banning the use and charging of power banks during the entire flight. The reason why is because of a little thing called thermal runaway, which is basically a fancy way of saying they could overheat and catch fire. Airlines figure if you have them close by, you'll notice smoke or heat before things get out of hand. The takeaway here is make sure your devices are fully charged before your flight, and since most seats nowadays come with power outlets, you should be fine. If you fly with the Canadian airline WestJet, listen up. They're updating their carry-on size limits starting May 6th. The new maximum size is going to be 22 by 14 by 9 inches or 56 by 36 by 22 centimeters, and those measurements include the handles and the wheels. Essentially, here they're shaving off an inch of width and adding an inch of height. I think this is good news. This means that more bags will now fit their requirements since this sizing is more in line with other major airlines. As a reminder, if you're wondering whether your current carry-on still works, I have a free carry-on database that lists bags that fit on over 70 airlines, and there's no email access required to get it. Just click the link below or scan the QR code. There's been a lot added to it since we first announced it, so go take a look if you need help finding a new carry-on. American Airlines is making a slight change to its boarding process starting May 1st. The airline will add an extra 5 minutes to the overall boarding time for all of its flights. But before you roll your eyes, there's actually a method to the madness. The goal is to space out boarding groups, cut down on congestion in the jet bridge, and reduce the number of passengers who have to gate check their carry-ons. In theory, this should make the whole process feel less like a free-for-all scramble. Will it work? That's to be determined, but at least now you know what's coming. Speaking of boarding, let's talk about a little trick that I use on every trip. I call it the third bag hack. Most airlines only allow one carry-on and one personal item, but if you've seen me walking through airports in any of my videos, you may have noticed that I usually have a third bag. This is either a small sling bag or a mini backpack purse. This is because once I arrive at my destination, I still need a bag for all my essentials like my wallet, my phone, lip balm, tissues, keys, all those small items that you want to carry with you. I don't know about you, but personally, I like to have all that stuff on me at all times. I feel kind of naked without it. I don't like having all those things sitting in a bag that's not attached to me. So here's the trick. When you go through security or TSA, you can technically bring as many bags as you want. You're not limited to just the 2 bags. It's the airlines that limit you, not security. This is also not me saying bring as much as possible. I'm just saying you can bring a third bag if you need to. But before boarding, I usually use the washroom one last time, and that's when I pack away my sling bag or crossbody bag into my personal item. While a crossbody bag feels pretty harmless, the reason why you can't board with one, even though it doesn't take up any extra room, is because of safety issues. It can't be around your chest for taxi, takeoff, and landing because, in the unlikely event of an evacuation, if you're scrambling to get out quickly, the strap can easily get caught on something. Now, speaking of safety, because of recent events, I know a lot of you might have concerns about flying. So if flying makes you anxious or you just have some questions about what's going on behind the scenes, I recently came across an interesting new service. It's called Dial a Pilot, and it's exactly what it sounds like. You schedule a 15-minute call with a real US-based pilot to ask anything you want about flying. They'll explain turbulence, security, aircraft maintenance, whatever it is that's making you nervous. If you're just not comfortable with flying right now, or maybe you're worried about some uncertainties for future travel, I also recommend looking into cancel for any reason travel insurance. Unlike standard travel insurance, which only covers cancellations for very specific reasons like a family emergency, cancel for any reason insurance gives you a little more flexibility. That could cover anything, things like maybe your dog gets sick, or because the forecast at your destination is calling for a week of rain, or maybe you've just changed your mind. I know there are also some illnesses going on right now at certain all-inclusive resorts, so some people are wondering if they should cancel. Now, there are some restrictions, and you might not get the full cost of your trip reimbursed, so you still have to read up on all the details and choose the right plan for your needs, but it can definitely be worth it, especially for bigger, more expensive trips. So I put some links to travel insurance down below, or you can scan the QR code for more information. Let's talk about some things that you can bring to make your flight way more comfortable, and a few of these are new to me that I recently tried out, so I wanted to share them with you. I recently used this phone holder for watching movies on the plane, and honestly, it works out so much better than I thought it would. It clamps onto the tray table in front of you, whether it's folded up or down, and it rotates all the way around so you can position it however you want. But it also mounts on all kinds of surfaces, so when you're on your trip, you can even use it as a tripod, maybe to take group photos or attach it to a desk or a table if you need to be on a video call. Flying with a well-designed personal item bag is so underrated, and on my last couple of flights, I took this tote bag by Nomad Lane, and it worked out as a great flight bag. It has so many strategically placed pockets that I didn't even need to use my usual tech pouches to keep everything together and organized. Plus, it's got a light-colored interior, so it's easy to see and find your things. Honestly, having a super organized bag really helps you feel less panicky, like when you're at the airport and you have to check like 37 times where your passport is. Another thing I like to do to stay organized on flights is to use a bag that hangs from the seat. So, for example, this is actually a toiletry bag, but you can also use it to keep your in-flight essentials off the floor and within arm's reach. No need to bend down and grab things. For an extra legroom trick, if you're tall, you can try moving your personal item bag behind your knees once you're in the air. My husband Chris is 6 feet 9 inches, so he feels your pain, but he swears by this. It frees up foot space without breaking any rules. A subscriber recently told me that they actually bring a portable gel seat cushion, and that makes the rock-hard airplane seats much more bearable for a long flight. This honestly sounds like a great idea. Planes are dry, so hydration is key for inside and out. I love my sunscreen glow stick because it's SPF 50, and it doesn't require my hands to rub it in because, you know, airplanes can be super germy. I also like packing some electrolytes, and I just mix those with my water bottle, and I really do find that they help fight that post-flight exhaustion. But just remember, with all these items like the phone holder and the hanging bag, they all need to be stowed away for taxi, takeoff, and landing, but any time in between, you're welcome to use them. Let's talk about flight delays and cancellations. If your flight is canceled or majorly delayed and you're facing an endless customer service lineup or extremely long wait times on hold, you can try heading to an airline lounge. The lounge agents can usually rebook flights much faster than the main ticket counter, or at the very least, the lineup won't be as long to get through to someone. Credit cards are a great way to get lounge access perks, so if you're in need of a new credit card, I've left a link to a summarized page of all the best travel credit cards, and yes, there's Canadian ones there too. I have a card that gets me into the Maple Leaf lounges for Air Canada. If you want to try a trick to try and stay ahead of the game when it comes to flight delays, check out FlightAware. It's free. Just go to FlightAware.com, and you can enter your flight number and then click Where is my plane now? That allows you to track its location in real time, so if your plane is halfway across the country, you'll know there's a delay coming before the airline even announces it. Flying isn't always smooth sailing, but hopefully, these updates and tricks help make your next trip less stressful. And if you want to see an airport where we actually wished we had a longer layover, you should go watch this video next.